485 days. That's how many days it's been since the last Hololive generation debuted, which was Hololive ID's third generation, which debuted on March 25th, 26th, and 27th of last year, 2022. Since then, it's been exactly 485 days since a new Hololive generation, and today revealed Hololive Advent, which will be Hololive Ian's third generation. Advent. Now, the arrival of a notable person, thing, or event. Advent can also mean the coming or second coming of Christ.
Nuna is Jesus!
Alright, with that out of the way, here are 5 new Hololive members. Nerissa Ravencroft, the Demon of Sound. Koseki Bijou, the Jewel of Emotions. Fuwawa Abyssguard, the Fluffy one. Mokoko Abyssguard, the Fuzzy one. And last but not least, Shiori Novella, the Archiver. Personally, I think the Hololive community, and myself included, are most excited for the debut of Fuwawa and Mokoko Abyssguard, the first set of twins and first set of VTuber twins to ever exist, at least to the best of my knowledge. And the fact that they have names like the Fluffy and Fuzzy one adds to that excitement. The Abyss twins have a cat-fox-like attribute, similar to already existing feline members. If they are twins in real life, this would honestly be a huge home run for Hololive, as there hasn't been any real family members VTubing together, let alone alongside each other. Their models are very brightly colored, and I think the artist did a great job making the models unique enough and not just a generic Okayu or cat ears on an already existing VTuber model ripoff. If I would rate the model and concept of these two, I would say it's a 10 out of 10 for both Fuwawa and Mokoko. Although I do like Mokoko's color scheme just a little bit more with the pink, plus the Coco at the end definitely is a nice throwback to Kiryu Coco, even if it's just coincidental. The next member of Hololive Advent is Nerissa Ravencroft. I personally think that Nerissa looks a lot like Albedo from Overlord, which is a cool aesthetic. I think the overall vibe feels like an One-san or older sister concept. Overall, the model looks really sharp. The color scheme is black and white, with not a lot of bright colors going on, but I think the horns are a really nice touch as they aren't clashing with the already existing Lapras horn model, and it's definitely something new. There was a music note right before Nerissa's reveal and a music note on her model as well, so I think it's safe to assume that Nerissa might be a new singer or musician coming to Hololive's already stacked vocal and musically gifted roster. I'd give Nerissa Ravencroft an 8.5 out of 10 for concept and model. Of course, we still haven't even heard the voice or met the actual characters yet, but overall I think the model and concept are solid. Koseki Bijou, we finally have another member to add to the board of Hololive. Koseki Bijou feels a little bit like Sagiri from Eromanga Sensei, and Bijou, being the last name translating to a jewel in French, is a nice attention to detail for the character's theme overall. I like the detail and sparkles with jewels thrown everywhere on her model, from her tiara to her little gem on her side. I wasn't super excited looking at Koseki at first, but looking more carefully at the character model, I'd say there's a lot of potential and a lot of room to grow for this character. And overall, for the final rating of the model and concept, I give Koseki Bijou an 8 out of 10. And finally, there's Shiori Novella, the Archiver. Honestly, at first glance, I didn't really think there was a lot going on for the character model with the bright colors like other characters or these big aesthetics, but after taking some time to examine Shiori, I noticed the eyes and overall face definitely give a yandere vibe with the orange, and it's a really nice touch. There's also a quote next to her saying, "driven by her thirst for knowledge," hence her Archiver character. As the last revealed member of Hololive Advent, right after the Abyss twins, it was definitely a hard act to follow, and it was definitely a tough position to be in. Overall, with the character model and concept, I give Shiori Novella an 8 out of 10. I think an Archiver is an interesting concept. Once we meet the model and character, I think there's a lot of room to grow, especially with the yandere art style, but for now there isn't just a lot to go off of. Now, looking back on the Hololive Breach teaser that we got, it's safe to say that Shiori was the evil person, quote unquote, that slashed the camera at the end, and then we had the other 4 members together united in the one scene, so it's honestly up in the air as to who is gonna be the de facto leader of this generation. My safe bet either be Shiori or it would either be Nerissa, and I think that those two probably have those leadership looking character models and the overall vibe in both of the PVs. But overall, you know, it's definitely up in the air. We don't know who's going to be the leader. But with other PVs in the past, we've seen with Botan, and we've seen with Hollow X with Lapras, they got a little bit more airtime on their PVs, and you could definitely tell there's a little bit more leaning to them as a leader. It's going to be interesting to see who between those two, Nerissa and Shiori, who's going to be the actual de facto leader of the Hololive generation, Hololive Advent. Now for the overall PV, I think it was a cool concept. The wanted poster and the burning flag. There was also a random fluffy animal with a skeleton creature somewhere. However, I do think that with the existence of Hololive's Hollow X, it does clash a little bit with the whole darker side, evil organization concept, if that's what they're pushing for. But the models look very polished, and I have to say again, the Abyss twins are just so cool, and definitely something I'm looking forward to watch alongside the rest of the Advent members, of course. If I had to give a rating for the overall Advent generation debut as a concept and debut PV, I'd put it at a solid 9 out of 10. The PV music was very nice. The mystery before the reveals was also a really cool touch with the twins just passing by in the pre-debut. And honestly, I think overall, Hololive did a really good job building up the hype for the Advent members, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these new members debut in the near future. Alright, now we come to the end of the video. If you guys disagreed with some of my takes, or if you guys agreed, if you guys had different opinions or different things you noticed throughout the PV, please write it down in the comments. I'll be sure to look at it and try to respond as best as I can. And I hope you guys are excited as well for the new coming of Advent in Hololive EN's 3rd generation. And I hope to see you guys soon.